So, hey everyone, welcome to our vigil for Black Lives Matter. My name is Felina Farley. I'm the Secretary Treasurer of the National Black Caucus, and my guest today is Trayon Cruz. We're going to talk about, the beginning of Black Lives Matter with Trayon. No, actually, before that, it was in Ohio, actually, and it feels like, Black Lives Matter is becoming a thing of the past more and more each day, each day. So we also want to talk about how they take movements for liberation and like make them non-existent until some next, you know, thing comes along and then it's no longer Black Lives Matter. It doesn't matter if it's that or DEI. They seem to just go on a straight assault when it comes to any type of liberation and where we are today. Oh, and we also want to talk about some recent news and some candidates and just everything that's going on with the Green Party and Black candidates too is running this year. So want to highlight some of this news. Welcome, Treherne. Can you give us some background of your participation in Green Party, your history, and then what happened recently in Minnesota? You're still muted. You're still muted.
Good to see you, Felina. Thanks for having me. Shout
Hmm.
out to everybody who's watching or will watch. My Green Party history, I started as a campaign manager for Denise Buggs, who ran for House of Representatives here in St. Paul, 65A. She had a great showing, and so I learned a lot from her from that race, and then uh, the next year, I decided to run for city council. So I actually was able to get the Green Party endorsement for that. While being Lena's campaign manager, I also became like the spokesperson. Then I ended up becoming the chair of the Minnesota Green Party. I eventually became the chair of the co-chair, one of seven brilliant co-chairs of the Green Party of the United States. Also was the chair of the Black Caucus, co-chair of the Black Caucus, and co-chair of the Green Party of the United States Reparations Working Group through the Black Caucus. So have a lot of extensive history with the Green Party of the United States. Our chapter here in Minnesota, we started Marcus Golden was killed by the St. Paul Police Department in 2015. I believe that was January of 2015. His uh his aunt's name was Monique Collers Doty. We organized with her, and then we started a chapter Black Lives Matter St. Paul, but then we eventually became Black Lives Matter Minnesota. Um, and we did a lot. She's been fighting for justice for Marcus Golden for the last 12 years, and many others who have lost their life to police terror here in Minnesota and across the United States. And yes, Black lives do matter, and Black Lives Matter is still relevant, and Black Lives Matter is doing a lot of work. Um, I don't think it's based off what the news says or what the news. I think it's based off what Black Lives Matter is actually doing. Did you have any more questions or?
Yeah, if you wanted to go into what currently happened in Minnesota with the indictments and there's a lot of it kind of got surrounded just about Don Lemon, but how many people were affected by what happened at that church?
Um, as far as activists, I know were the nonviolent nine. So there were nine people who were arrested. I can't really talk about the case per se, but yeah, there was I was indicted by the United States government and Pam Bondi. And so even this question of like the question when I think if the White House is tweeting about you and things that we do, definitely Black Lives Matter, Black Lives still matter. Uh, but yeah, we were indicted. I did plead not guilty February 17th in federal court here in St. Paul. And we're going to continue to fight for justice uh, for people who have lost their lives to police brutality here in Minnesota and across the United States.
Thank you so much for that. Thank
I
you.
could also say that like we want ICE out of our community right now, and that's what most Minnesotans want. ICE out of our community. They've been causing a lot of havoc in our community. They've killed two or three people. So no, they shot three people. Two of them died, and that all happened in January. In 1 month. So uh, definitely want ICE to leave the place that when they came and I was arrested by the FBI, Homeland Security, and ICE when I was outside. Uh, they had like a PR person with them that was filming and stuff like that. They put chains on, and then so they took me to the Whipple building, and the Whipple building is in at Fort Snelling, where Dred and Harriet Scott were enslaved in the early 1830s. From in the early 1830s, 20 to 30 slaves were always at Fort Snelling. And then I found myself there, uh, a few weeks ago. So that was just very surreal for me to be have chains around my legs in the same place Dred Scott was enslaved.
Yeah, I am so sorry that happened. I know it's been, you know, it's never easy fighting for liberation, um,
Never, never.
trying to be on the right side of history. And that's one thing I do want to bring up about the Green Party is that we've always been on the right side of history. We have all these articles that we've been writing since 2016 about ICE and abolishing ICE. So the fact that we just have this history alone shows us we always been on the right side of history when it comes to it. And another connection is the Gaza war and the training that was done with these idea of soldiers and ICE and the same tactics being used and how many people in Palestine was warning about this even when George Floyd happened, how they were using the same techniques to the knee on the neck is what they were doing in Palestine.
Absolutely. Not only did they train ICE agents, they also trained police officers even before ICE came to
Mhm.
Minnesota. So back around that same time, I think like 2016, 2015, they were training police officers here in Minnesota. And I think even some security guards at certain malls here in Minnesota. So yeah, that training is here. Um, amongst law enforcement in Minnesota and I think other places in the United States also. But absolutely, I think the Green Party is on the cutting edge of policies that are helpful for, we're in the Black History Month. So I think the Green Party has a lot of policies that are good for Black Americans and good for Black people in the diaspora, period. And that's why I was attracted to it when I ran for office as a Green and just the participation. My participation in the Green Party, especially um, knowing that the Green Party of the United States at that time, and still I think is the only political party in the United States that has reparations as part of their party platform. And so that's what really had attracted me to the Green Party.
Yes. Yes, and we have had an update to that platform the past 2 years ago during 2024. We spelled out the reparations and the Black agenda as like we subsectioned it just to spell it out like we have the Green Party platform itself is the Black agenda. Like everything else besides reparations is the Black agenda. We still want free healthcare. We still want free schools. We still want our infrastructure um, done. We still want all these police reforms as part of our criminal justice plank, and just letting people understand that this stuff is connected. And a lot of the Green Party's platform is part of the Black agenda, and so that's just spelled out a little better.
Indeed. I think one of the best parts for me, the Green Party platform is, but the 10 key values too are really good for our community and marginalized community. I think number one is grassroots democracy or participatory democracy, which says everybody should have a say. And a lot of times in the political realm, Black families and communities don't have a say, and people make decisions without talking to them. And so I think always moving forward that as much as we can, we should have outreach happening to the Black community so that we know what their issues and concerns are. One approach we've been taking is not trying to wag our finger at people like we have all the answers. It's like actually going to the community where Black people are and talking to them and listening to them and seeing what their needs are. Because I might come and say, hey, you need a red light bulb, but they might be like, well, no, I need just a light bulb so I can see in my house. So just making sure that when that part, grassroots democracy and participatory democracy when dealing with Black families and communities is vital to our success.
Yep, yep. And another thing that I've seen a lot on social media with a lot of Black activists that have been speaking out when it comes to the connection with these Epstein files and the horrific cannibalism and the human trafficking, and how we're pointing out how, since we haven't had reparations, since this never has been addressed, and they were doing these things to us
Mm,
to enslave people. Why did you made it illegal, so it was going to stop? It didn't stop.
mm,
The delectable Negro that did not stop.
that part. Yeah, no,
You see what I'm saying? Like, we got to start pointing that out as well. It,
absolutely.
because we have not repaired this nation, it continues.
Absolutely. I think some of the things in those files are just really hard and grotesque to look at. I know there was testimonies about it behind closed doors today, I think on Capitol Hill that some people had to testify about it. Uh,
Mhm.
Said they had nothing to do with it, but if you look back, you might see pictures of them with Jeffrey Epstein. And also when you're thinking about when we're talking about Prince Andrew, just
Mhm.
being arrested, other people being arrested for, I think it's even being described as crimes against humanity. And
Yeah,
but
it
here,
is.
but
It
here in the
is.
United States, you're seeing peaceful protesters getting arrested. You're seeing people who are standing up for justice and demanding ICE out of their communities, or demanding an end to police brutality, or demanding economic justice getting indicted. But we don't see the pedophiles or people who are cannibals or
Mhm.
harming children or burying children. Uh,
Oh, and the new thing that's going viral is the whole N-word hunting.
you said
They
in
still doing that. That's in there.
what?
So all of this from
Yeah,
that time, from our time, they're still hangings. There's still hangings that they're saying is suicides.
Yeah.
And they're still
Shout
doing
out to Trey
hunts
Reed and
for
his family
game.
too.
They're
And
still treating us as like a game, like
exactly,
hunting animals.
exactly. I was walking down the street one day and a young white girl had to be about 8 years old, came out and just ran out the house and was like, I'm gonna hunt you down. I'm about to hunt you down.
Hmm.
Like, wow, where would make her say something like that? But that's taught, so that hatred is passed down from generation to generation. And along with that, that trauma that we go through is passed down from generation to generation. And so, yeah, I think it's just the tip of the iceberg with the Epstein files, some of the things that are in there and some of the ways that um, we just had an article came out about us being arrested, and when we were getting arrested that they wanted to take pictures of us and uh pose, have certain, they I wasn't trying to really let them really take pictures of me like that, but they were really trying to take pictures of people like we were trophies and things like that. So when you talk about hunting people down, that's still happening up to this very moment in our community for sure.
Yep. So for that to still for that to be in the Epstein files is it should be another wake up call
Absolutely.
of how bad we need reparations and how bad we need to repair this nation. They keep forgetting the repair part of reparations. That's what it means. That's what it's supposed to imply. And the longer this drags out, the more we uncover that it never left.
Absolutely. A good way it was referred to me is like America has a broken system and it needs to be repaired. And the first beginning of that repair starts with reparations.
Hmm.
And I believe that too. And that's why was just like it's the green, I think we here in Minnesota, we were the first of a handful of cities to be able to launch a municipal level reparations commission. So we were like the first. And that work started with the Green parties for sure. And then it spread. Now there's over 100 initiatives across the United States. Uh,
Hmm.
at the local level, there's five or there's some at the state level too, with cities like New York, Illinois, California, uh, picking up on this. And we're trying to get it moving here in Minnesota too, at the state level. So we did launch a new at our local level. The bill is called the St. Paul Recovery Act, and we've been getting a lot of great work done recently. And then at the state level, we have a bill that we're introducing, trying to get a hearing for right now called the Minnesota Migration Act, but we want to change it to the Minnesota Great Migration Act because our ancestors migrated from the south to the north to find a better life, but still found white supremacy and institutional racism and the biggest racial wealth gap, the biggest income gaps, the biggest health disparities in the United States right here in Minnesota. And so we know, according to the New England Journal of Medicine, the best way to address health disparities and economic disparities is through reparations. And so
Hmm.
um, we're really excited about doing that work.
Yep. And it takes a lot of work. And people are waking up. Here in Ohio, a lot of people did stand up against trying to ban ranked choice voting here in Ohio. And
Mm,
Ohio has an interesting history because they used to have ranked choice voting in the locals. And when they introduced it, more minorities and women were getting elected
mm.
in local. And so, and then the NAACP comes out trying to push back against ranked choice voting when they tried to adopt it in New York, talking about it was too confusing for black folk, which was
Wow.
insulting as hell. And it
Uh,
caused all this strife, and it's like that's that corporate arm that is
absolutely,
influencing that because
absolutely,
where else why would the NAACP be caucus to come out going against ranked choice voting when it was starting to pick up steam? So
it's really shameful. Like a lot of times I seen something you guys had been having some great webinars lately. But I seen sometimes, here in Minnesota, there was just recently, I would say about 2 or 3 years ago, they passed a law that made it harder to get on the ballot, where you have to get more signatures and things like that. Uh,
Hmm.
and also making it harder for third parties in general, period. At one time, I think we had five major parties here in Minnesota.
Hmm.
Two of them were like cannabis parties and stuff. And so I know they had a hearing about that kind of is going to make that harder in the years going ahead. But we know that most Americans want more choices at their ballot boxes, and the Democrats and Republicans are making that harder. And I think the Democrats should be really pushing for us to have more choices at on our ballot box.
Yep.
That's what most Americans want. I think even if right now there's a strong appetite for third party candidates, but if they're not able to get on the ballot, then people are going to be left with the the worst, what is it, the lesser of two evils, the pick from the lesser of two evils, and we shouldn't
Yeah.
do that.
Well, the good news is with all this censorship and this AI influence and everything, they're trying to persuade the conversation is not working. And I'm seeing our stats go up in general.
Mhm.
We were discussing this on our national media committee, actually, that stats are going up for us. Like they're too busy covering up all this Epstein stuff that they can't keep up with trying to shadow ban us anymore.
Right.
That's what I feel like. I'm trying to like be positive, but I'm kind of pessimistic. I feels like they're just too busy to see what we're doing, so that's why we're getting actual some traction.
We got to take advantage. You guys got to take advantage of that for
It's
real.
such a mess with everything going on, and it can't, focus on us like that.
Definitely. Yeah, I think this is a perfect time for Green Party politics and the policies that the Green Party represent. Um, and just making sure that trying to do, I won't say brand the policy, but make sure people know like healthcare for all that's coming from the Green Party. Legalizing marijuana, it's finally legal here now, but I remember when we first started pushing some of these ideals, it was like uh, even the so-called progressives would say that's never going to happen. Didn't happen. They told us raising the minimum wage to a cost of living wage, which we know the Green Party was in massive support of before other political parties were a part of it. That's law here now. We want the rent in Ramsey County or in St. Paul is still high. So we have, I think I was one of the first candidates in Minnesota to run on rent control. That's law today. So a lot of the policies that the Green Party brings forth will get adopted or co-opted, but we want to actually be the ones, we want to actually see Greens winning on these policies and implementing those policies when they're in office so that they don't get watered down and stuff like that too.
What's funny is also what's happening here in Ohio is that we have to start a new statewide petition to try to reverse our legalization that ballot petitioned for because our legislator put laws on it to make it so we can't consume out of state weed and we can't consume I mean, they put these ridiculous stuff on there, like there's no way it could be implemented. Like, and then the governor
Like you have
signs off
to,
on it. It's like, what we could just do, just buy Michigan weed and then like put it in an Ohio bag? Or how would they know? What the heck would they? How would they even implement something like this? It's so ridiculous. So now we're back to reversing the legislative crap that they put on there. And you know what really it all stems down to is the fact that the legalization reduces the crime rate so much. And we got these private prisons that have quotas. And
Mm,
when we don't fill these quotas, we get fined.
right.
The
Wow.
state gets fined by these private prisons if we do not fill them. And what
Wow.
always happens is that you legalize it and then the crime goes down and, people get more focused, I guess, and do things more productively. Then we get fined for not filling these private prisons.
Wow. And that's another, like crime being down. That's really
Hmm.
serious, like you're saying. So, and also that we weren't, if crime is down, then why do we need, more police and more? So that's another thing, not,
Hmm.
reallocating some of the funding from, the military in law enforcement and reallocating that to like our libraries and social services and mental health programs. We think that's also ways to continue to lower crime and get people moving into a more productive and safe life, for sure.
Yep. Let's see. Do we have a question right quick? Oh, no. This is Detroit cannabis. All right.
Yeah, yep. Um, yeah, so and then also I think one thing that's been happening here that did stem out of George Floyd is just mutual aid efforts that are going on here in Minnesota right now because of ICE. A lot of people are giving each other groceries, making sure that when kids try to go to school, that ICE isn't coming in snatching the kids up. So there's different organizations that are out, like they have whistles and stuff like that. So if ICE is coming, they're blowing whistles and trying to get everybody to come out and stop that person from being kidnapped.
Okay, I enabled chat so everybody can add a quick message if they don't want to do Q&A. I'm not sure why that's off, but it's on now if you wanted to make some chats, if it's easy to make a chat, because we got about 15 minutes if anyone wants to make a comment about Black lives still mattering, the connection, reparations, the conversation. Oh, um, oh, okay. Let's see, got here.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Hey, what's going on? This is Jimmy from DC Statehood Green Party. I'm here in Washington. Morning.
Oh, hi.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey,
So yeah, Black lives definitely do matter, but I'm sure y'all know the statistics. Police violence has actually gradually increased since the George Floyd uprising of 2020. It's averaging about like three murders per day, unfortunately. And I'm sure y'all have also seen in the headlines about National Guard uh, being stationed here. They're still here. Um, and it is specifically a war waged on our youth, our Black youth. Um, it's especially like in the neighborhoods that they have not been able to successfully gentrify. They're there to intimidate the Black youth, but thankfully the Black youth is not intimidated, at least the majority of them. I'd like to finish my statement by saying that I think it is very important for us to be attractive, especially to that demographic, the Black youth, the Black low-wage worker, Uber drivers, Amazon workers, customer service, fast food, uh, the single parents, single mothers, single fathers, um, because they're being attracted by the Democratic Party and even the Republican Party, especially with the militant Black youth, they're being groomed and to be a part of the police force or military. But I think if we have a strategy that handles their issues like rent, wages, healthcare, education, um, all that, I think we could, that strategy would that I saw in the Black agenda, the Black agenda that made me join the party in the first place. If we really act on those things, I think we could attract that demographic. That's it.
No, I agree.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. I definitely
I
agree with
think
that, especially you know, just most people don't know we even have a, a, a Black caucus. I mean, we deal with a lot of internal backhand stuff. Right now, we're dealing with the announcement of Cynthia McKinney that previously ran for president of the Green Party in 2008 is running in Georgia to take over Mar Marjorie Taylor Greene's seat.
wow.
Hmm.
Yeah, I see. I didn't know. I seen she was running, but I didn't know that's who seat she was taking over though.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
like she's and going with the putting the green back in green because that last name is Green. But I mean, to me, it's just just a marketing thing, and trying to get it, run outside of the two parties, and why wouldn't you run on the same ticket you running president on? But there's still all this internal beef that needs to be squashed because we got to support our Black candidates that are ready to run. It's hard to run. We still have, start searching for people that want to run in local races next year. You have to be reaching out for that just want to get started in smaller races. You got to start planning now.
Absolutely. If could I ask Jumia a question? How would you are there spaces to engage with Black youth in DC on those issues?
So I actually work in entertainment, film and music industry.
Oh,
And I see a lot of agitation, attracting that section of, that demographic through like hip hop media. They've been, you know, recently there was a operation against a cartel in Mexico, and
yeah.
if you know about hip hop culture, like the drug kingpin is seen as like a cool character. So like they've been trying to like attract people to the right with that type of rhetoric and all that type of stuff. And I think there could be a left attraction by not having such a respectability politics toward hip hop culture, but embracing it, and not pandering with the culture like how the Democratic Party does. And what that looks like is for instance, DC Statehood Green Party, we're building up like social media and stuff like that. We have a local sound here in DC called Crank, free car music. Like I feel like
What's it called again, sir? My fault.
well, like when we say a song is good, we say that crank,
Okay.
that's crank, or it's also called free car music because I'll be honest with you, Grand Theft Auto is a very popular form of crime out here, so like the music is kind of like that. But again, like if we have like a respectability politics toward a attitude towards it, we won't be able to attract that demographic. But I've done organizing and what's it called? Tenants unions and whatnot
Mhm.
in housing projects, public housing projects. And me being an artist, me being a producer and all that type of stuff has attracted a lot of the younger people and all that type of stuff. So, them seeing somebody who looks like them, who acts like them, who talks like them on the social media, talking about issues that affect them has been very attractive to that demographic.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a good medium. We got something a high school here that actually called the High School for Recording Arts. That's owned, that's black owned and operated. And I know they're able to do a lot of, I wouldn't say political, but issue based, issue based, issue based programming or commercials or social media work, video, mostly video work and hip hop and stuff like that. So I definitely see the connection, and I hope that anything, and you can reach out too, because yeah, I'd like to connect with you like soon. So please reach out.
Of
Uh
course.
chop it up. And I think my email address is just traincruz@gmail.com. I know that is my email address. And if you could do that like right away. Um, yeah, but like streaming services, a lot of things, there's a lot of different tools I think that we can use to attract youth to Green Party policies and find candidates that are ready to go. But even not just candidate, I think it's also community building too. So engaging with community, like he's saying, just kind of being the Green Party is like part of the community in a sense. And I think there needs to be, uh, especially here, I know here in Minnesota, we got to do more of that and just making sure, like we were in 2020, like people, the Green Party was everywhere. You're gonna work and just making sure that we're there, that people, I think we talked about this before too, like Head Start, even though it's called Head Start, is you kind of associate it with certain things. So just certain programs and initiatives are kind of associated with certain political ideology, I would say.
Yep. One of the things that I've noticed about us as a party is that, when we try to deal with the issues of our reparations and, Jim Crow reparations, lineage-based reparations, we try to focus the actual policy for us to uh, figure out these on our own solutions. Um, we already put in the estimate of how much is in the trillions that needs to be part of rebuilding and um, getting our generational wealth back in order. Um, and the problem I've seen is that a lot of people want to treat us like we're just another pack or something instead of a party that have candidates to run on these issues, that want candidates to run on our platform. And when it comes to certain issues that you want to work on, more of the international scene of Black issues. We have an international committee, we have a reparations working group, we have a place, we have an eco action group that we need Black farmers to be in to talk about their issues when it comes to the soil and not getting the subsidies they needed. And now that they haven't been getting it, now they're trying to take their land.
Mm.
There's so many different committees that we need Black representation on to make sure all of our issues are getting addressed with all these different angles. So we have the the I guess we don't have these same problems that most of these organizations have when they're trying to establish there's some sort of thing, and we're just trying to make sure legislatively we have the right platform to run on. Um, I mean, that's
Oh,
pretty much our main job and to attract people to run on them. So,
but I would still think, just going back to the participatory democracy, I think a good place for Greens to start is just like really getting back to engage in the Black community where they're at, and and having conversations, and then because we can add, like you guys add to the platform in 2024, if there's things that we think align with the Green Party that the community wants, then the Greens should be able to facilitate that. Especially
Mhm.
the Green Party Black Caucus will be able to help facilitate that and implement that into the party and eventually into legislative action and into law. I know I'm just saying it, but there's a lot of work in between that. But I know it could be done.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, that please connect. Saw that in the Q&A. The chat should be open now to also um okay.
Yeah,
Great, great.
yeah. This was great though, Feline. I want to come back and then be able to invite more people. Uh,
Yes,
a lot, a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people that would love to be a part of the Green Party Black Caucus right now. So please,
yeah.
please keep pushing. Please keep organizing, and anything I could do to help, let me know.
Yep. Next month is Women History or Women's Month. And when it comes to Black women, we have a lot to say about that, don't you know?
That
So
part.
we can make always have Black history is American history and make it all one big thing. So if you don't look out for Black women history during Women History Month, that'd be great. We can definitely have something coming out for that. I have a little bit more local stuff going on because primaries are coming up. We got some in well, Ohio, of course, it's like pulling it's so corrupt here that our getting ballot access is terrible compared to a lot of other states. It's a little bit easier for us. So here in Ohio, it's hard. So we got independent candidates that we have to run with and endorse. Um, But being outside the two-party system is pretty much the front wave. Um, Butch Ware running for governor of California, he did a big that's going viral right now. It's like the Green Party are not in the Epstein files.
For real.
We are not in there, baby. We have nothing
Yeah.
to do with it. There's no Russia stuff. There's Russia stuff in there, but nothing to do with the Green Party specifically. So all that can finally come to an end that we are not in the Epstein files.
Hey, that's great. Butch, I think he's gonna be here early next week or early March for IFTA. So IFTA. So looking forward to I might try to attend that.
Right, right.
So
Well,
yeah, if
we're
you're in
telling
Minnesota, make sure that you come out and support that too.
okay, awesome. Awesome. Yep. Okay, you guys, we're going to end this live and this webinar today. I hope everybody got good idea of how to move forward to make sure Black lives still matter. Look, and like I said, we're still in the planning stage for some more webinars. We kicked off the month with our webinar on February 1st, which is replayed on YouTube Green Party videos. Um, believe this one is right now is live streamed on our Black Caucus Facebook page, and I'll probably get it on our YouTube page as well. So thank you everyone for coming out, and
Thank
we'll probably do something for Women History Month next month. So look forward to that.
Me too.
All right, take care, everybody.
Peace.